Hey guys, Hack Tutorials, and today I'm going to be starting a brand new series, how to make an SPRX menu. This has been something that you guys have been requesting me, and something I've been pretty excited to make because I'm working on my own. So, just to get started, a prerequisite that you should have is you should be familiar with C++. You should know at least the basics of it because making an SPRX menu is actually slightly complicated. It can be pretty tricky. Now I know that I'm going to be showing you how to do everything, so you could literally just copy everything that I do, but that's kind of not the point. I actually want you guys to understand what you're doing. So knowing C++ is definitely a plus. So if you don't know any, then there are plenty of great series on YouTube and tutorials online. You can go search The New Boston on YouTube. I'll leave his link in the description. He has a really good C++ series from which I learned the basics. So in order for you to actually be able to make this SPRX menu, you need to have the proper software. So first and foremost, you need to have Visual Studio 2010 Ultimate, that specific version, installed in your computer. The logo looks like this right here, or like this. You need to have PS3 SDK, and you need to have PS3 SDK integration for Visual Studio. There's a very helpful video on how to get all of this set up with the links in the description on YouTube, made by Phobia. I'll leave that in the description as well. So once you've set everything up, then you should be able to start making a SPRX menu. So to start up the project, go ahead and open Visual Studio 2010 Ultimate. And you'll notice that I have a pretty different theme. I tried to make my own and make it look like the Visual Studio 2013 theme, which looks really nice. And I like it. I think it looks good to my eyes. If you guys find this frustrating and hard to see things because your theme is a little bit different than mine, then I could change back to the original. Just let me know in the comments. But yeah, so to start a new project, go ahead and click File, New, and click Project. Then under Visual C++, go down to SCE, click PS3, and you'll have the option PS3 PPU project, the one in the middle. Rename this to whatever you want. I'm going to name this Tutorial, and click OK. Click Next. Go ahead and click the second option here, PPU PRX project, and disable use precompiled header. Disable that because it just adds crap to our project that we don't need. So go ahead and click Finish. And in the Solution Explorer, open up Tutorial, Source Files, PRX.cpp. By the way, everything that I name in here is totally you can name it however you want. So I'm naming everything Tutorial and all that. You could name it however you want. It doesn't really matter. Same with all the functions. If you think my naming is bad, that's totally fine. Name it however you would like, as long as you follow everything else. Okay, so online I have 6 Pastebins with different things we're going to use. Now guys, I want to make this clear, this is not a menu base, okay? When we're starting this project and even putting all these header files in, there's no menu that's made. We actually have to still make the menu ourselves. You know, there's no menu, there's no background, there's no text. We have to do this entirely. 5 header files that I'm going to give you are simply to get you set up. They're kind of like a library, and you basically use the functions from them to be able to make the SPRX menu, because without them you won't be able to do anything. Okay, so in order to make a header file, and this is just how I like to organize things. I like to put them in header files rather than just all in one huge document. So in order to make one, go to your Solution Explorer, right click on Tutorial, click Add, click New Item, and then click on header file.h. The first header file we're going to be putting in here is going to be called ps3.h. Click Add. And inside here, we're just going to go into this paste bin and copy everything in ps3.h. See, that's the one right here, ps3.h. Just copy everything inside here. And click Ctrl-V to paste. Now do the exact same thing with all the header files. So as you can see, I have one called HUDsfunc for HUDs functions, buttons.h, offsets.h, and don't worry about this. So these 4 headers just put them in just like I did before. So I'll be back when I have all of them created. Okay, so as you can see, I have a ps3.h, hudsfunc.h, buttons.h, and offsets.h. So I'm just going to briefly explain what they do. ps2.h is kind of the main one. This is what allows us to use ps3 functions like writing to memory and reading memory. HUD's functions basically allows us to create HUD elements, and a HUD element, in case you don't know, is basically just the visual aspect. So like the background of your menu is a HUD element. Any text is HUD elements. So basically anything you see is just HUD elements. Everything else is under the hood. So this is just from the GUI standpoint, the graphical user interface. This is just the interface basically. Buttons is so that when the player or the person using the menu clicks a button on their controller, we can detect what button they clicked and then do something with that button. And then offsets, basically these are just some pretty basic ones, standard ones that that we could use. Some of these have to be used, some of these are just optional, but these are good to have inside the project. So the first thing you want to do is we could close these pastebins. So we have 2 pastebins left. So first you want to take all these header files and copy them. I don't know why this says C#, I may have done that by accident, but this is all like C++. So you could delete these 2 header files. Whoops, and then Control V, paste all the other header files that you just got from the pastebin. Okay, and this is from my SPRX menu that I'm making, and it's all nice and organized. So you have the Sony header files, you have the C header files, which have been converted to C++, and C++ standard library files, and just standard C header files, which have not been converted or anything. And under here, we're going to go ahead and put our project header files, which are right here. In case you're not familiar, if you see a double slash, it's just a comment. So anything in green, these are just comments. So not necessary. You could get rid of all the function, or you could get rid of all the comments in your project, and everything will work fine. They're just here for organization. So next, we're going to include all of our project header files. So first, it actually does matter what order you do this in because they depend on each other. So first you do #include ps3.h. Underneath that, do #include offsets.h. Underneath that, #include hudsfunc.h. Underneath that, #include buttons.h. Did I do this wrong? Yeah. Hudsfunc.h. Yep. Alright, so these are incorporated inside the project. First thing I guess you could do is just click F7 to build it to see if we have any errors. And it looks like it is failed. Let's see what the fail is. So first off, you just right click and click Show IntelliSense Errors, which disables them. And we have 2 real errors. And these are normal. Linking aborted, error generating PRX. And here's how you fix it. As you might notice, I have an extra pastebin open right here. Go ahead and copy everything in this pastebin. Okay. And go to Project, the Project tab. Click Project Properties. Mine's called Tutorial, so it's Tutorial Properties. Click Configuration Properties, Linker, General. And then where it says Additional Dependencies, delete all of this and paste what you've copied. Click Apply, OK. Now you can click F7 again to build, and it says 1 succeeded. So that you only have to do this once, and for the rest of your project, it will work fine. So to actually get our SPRX menu kind of going, in this video we're not going to be actually making a menu, we're just going to be testing if God mode works. So the first thing to actually start your menu, you need a thread. So to create a thread, we need to write sys_pp_thread_t, which is found in ps3.h. And then name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it tutorial. That's the name of the thread. And then inside this function right here, above the return statement, write create_thread. And in the parentheses, first you want to put Well, we were actually going to make also a for loop void function. You'll see what that is. So I'm going to name it tutorial underscore thread, which will give us an error right now because we don't have it defined yet, but we'll do that later. Then make a comma. After that, put 0x4AA, comma, 0x7000, comma, and then right here you could put literally whatever you want. I'm going to call it tutorial. And lastly, you want to just put the name of the thread, which is tutorial, like that. So we have one error, and that's because we haven't made this yet. So to make that, let's just make some space underneath the header files. Go ahead and type void tutorial underscore thread, and inside the arguments just put uint 16 or not 16, uint 64 underscore t arg. Now we have void function. There we go, no errors. And inside here, make an unlimited for loop, or an infinite one. So for, put 2 semicolons inside there. That's unlimited. You could also do while true, or while 1, or whatever it may be. There's really no speed difference in this day and age, so I like for like this. You could do while if that looks better to you, but I like it like this. I don't know why. It simply doesn't matter. Alright, so we have everything going. Again, let's go ahead and click F7 to build it. Looks like everything succeeded. So let's get things running. So first thing, we're actually going to make another header file. We could close out of these for now. So go ahead and right click on tutorial, add new item, header file, and I'm going to call it functions. Okay, functions.h. And this is where we're going to store some of our functions and variables. We don't need to worry about any variables yet, just one function to get things started. So we're going to go ahead and create a namespace and call it functions. And inside here, we're going to make a function called bool in game, no parameters. Inside here, we're going to type if, and this is going to look pretty crazy right now. I'll explain this later in the series, or maybe today, I don't know. But just copy down what I have. So type make a pointer. Well, this is really a dereference operator in this case, but I'll just refer to them as pointers. Pointer reinterpret underscore cast. Then inside these two carets, I don't know what to call them, this left and right operand, I guess, put char pointer. And then inside parentheses right here, go ahead and type offsets cl, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, okay, my bad. I forgot to include this header file inside the sprx.cpp. So inside of here, you want to go in here, and underneath here, include functions.h. And now, I'm just going to delete this. Type offsets cl. I don't know why it's not recognizing it. Hold on. Okay, type offsets colon because it's in the namespace, and scroll down to cl underscore in game. Okay, and then outside of here, type doesn't equal 1 or exclamation point equal 1, like that. And after this statement, go ahead and type return false. Okay, and then in the next line, write return true. So what this function does is it checks if you're actually inside the game. Basically, this function will let you know. There's a little bit of logic here. I don't really want to explain this right now because I haven't explained memory or anything like that. So this is for later in the series. Just get this down and you're good to go. So once you have that, go back to sprx.cpp and we can get to using some logic. So inside the for loop, by the way, this for loop is going to be huge eventually. It's going to have a ton of logic like if. But for now, go ahead and type if functions : in game, Crap. We'll do that again. In game, like that. And then inside here. So basically, when we're going to be working with an SPRX menu, there's a maximum of 18 clients in MW3 or most Call of Duties, I think. So you're going to be seeing a lot of for loops with 18 clients, because usually when we want to do a function or whatever it may be, we want it to be applied to all the clients. If you're just going to be using this SPRX menu in split screen for the rest of your life, then I don't think it's necessary, but you're still going to have to do it because so it can be compatible. Just do it, okay? So write for, I don't know if that anything what I said makes sense, but just copy this down. For int I equals 0, I is less than 18, semicolon, plus plus I. So int I equals 0, semicolon, I is less than 18, semicolon, plus plus I. And then inside here, so yeah, there are 18 clients, so this kind of just loops through all 18. With code, we always start with 0. So 0 through 17 is actually 18 numbers. So client 7, so when you hear 17, that's actually the 18th client. So inside this for loop, we're going to go ahead and write if buttons, detect button. And this is going to detect if they click a button. Write I, because it's asking for the client index. And our client index is 0 through 17, or 1 through 18, I guess. So I, comma, then we're going to be using left. So we're going to write buttons, left, like that. And then write another parenthesis to finish off the statement. So basically, if they click left, then do something. So the do something that we're going to be doing is we're going to be turning on God mode. So how do we do that? Again, I'm not going to be covering like mods until a little bit later in the series, because we're going to be working on the design of the menu for like the beginning of the series. Not yet, but just copy down what I have. Basically, this video is to test that everything works. So make a pointer or dereference operator, then write reinterpret _ cast. And then inside those operands, write char pointer. Then inside here, we have to get the address of God mode. Give me a second. So here's the address of God mode. Here's the offset. Plus whatever client it is times 0x280. This is just an interval. Again, I'll explain this stuff later. It makes no sense right now, I know. Then type equals 0xff, and then this should turn on God mode. Okay, so go ahead and click F7 on your keyboard, and it says 1 succeeded, meaning everything should be fine from a code standard it compiled. Okay, so we're ready to go ahead and go test it, and I'm just going to end this video off now and split it into the next video. I'm going to post it on the same day right after this video, but just for organization purposes. So I'll see you then.